Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Podcast. Today's Friday, May 10th, 2019. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's NBA and Stanley Cup playoff games, look ahead to tonight and this weekend's games, go over yesterday's baseball games, look ahead to today's games, my second NHL mock draft, and my best bet of the day. Alright, we're going to start in the NBA, where there were 2 Game 6s last night, and they were both blowouts, but some of them were both interesting as well throughout the game. We'll start in the Eastern Conference. The Sixers defeat the Raptors 112-101. This wasn't really that big of a blowout. It just felt like a blowout that the score really didn't indicate that it was a blowout. Philly forces a Game 7. Jimmy Butler had 25 points in the win for Philly to go with 8 assists and 6 boards. J.J. Redick only had 11, so a cold game for him. Ben Simmons, 21 points, 8 boards, 6 assists after a lot of criticism after how he's been playing in the series. He steps up in the big spot at home. Joel Embiid, 17 points and 12 boards. I just don't think he's right, although he's putting up some numbers. Tobias Harris, 16 points and 9 boards off the bench. Mike Scott at 11 with 3 big three-pointers. Meanwhile, for Toronto, Kawhi Leonard had 29 points and 12 boards. Pascal Siakam had 21 and 6 boards. Kyle Lowry had 13 points, 6 assists, and 5 boards. Their bench didn't do anything, came back to bite them in this game. Now there will be a Game 7 on Sunday. I believe the time is to be determined because they're waiting for the results of the Rockets-Warriors game being played tonight, which we'll get to. Trailblazers over the Nuggets, 119-108. This score, to me, wasn't indicative how dominant the Blazers were, especially in the second half. Damian Lillard went crazy in the third quarter of this one, so there will be a Game 7 in this series as well. And speaking of Lillard, he had 32 points and 5 assists. C.J. McCollum had 30. Off the bench, Zach Collins had 14, and Rodney Hood had 25. Hood really has been awesome for them in this series and has helped their bench tremendously. Meanwhile, for Denver, Nikola Jokic, 29 points, 12 boards, 8 assists. Jamal Murray had 24 with 10 boards and 5 assists. Gary Harris had 15. Torrey Craig had 10. Paul Millsap had 17 with 6 boards. Their bench didn't do anything, which came back to bite them. And there was a little brawl in the third quarter between Will Barton and I believe it was Seth Curry. Barton got at Curry a little bit, and I believe there were punches thrown, so I'm interested to see if the league does anything about it to perhaps sway the series a different way if Barton's suspended or whatever. So keep an eye on that. All right, tonight, the highly anticipated Game 6 between the Rockets and the Warriors. 9 o'clock, ESPN, Mike Breen, Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, Lisa Salters on the call. Houston's a 7-point favorite. This is going to be some game. I get it, Kevin Durant's out for the rest of the series due to the calf injury, but the Warriors, to me, aren't a team that will lay down, as they showed after Durant got hurt in Game 5. This game is going to be close. It's going to be competitive. I think both teams will play well, but ultimately, the Rockets are home. I believe James Harden, this is his time to shine, and I think that the Rockets will win this game 115-110, so the Warriors cover, but the Rockets win. No games on Saturday, and then we're going to have perhaps 3 Game 7s on Sunday at, I believe it'll be 1 o'clock on ABC between the Trailblazers and the Nuggets. And let's just assume that the Rockets force a Game 7. Or else if that goes 7, then that'll be the 3:30 ABC. And if that's what I meant. If the Rockets don't win tonight, obviously, then that series is over. Then Trailblazers Nuggets goes into the 3:30 ABC spot. So, Trailblazers Nuggets, 1 o'clock, ABC, Sunday afternoon. Mark Jones, Hubie Brown on the call. This is going to be a good game. I think that Will Barton doesn't get suspended. I think he'll play. Maybe he gets a fine, but I don't think the league wants to ruin a series by suspending a key player for a team that, in my mind, is poised to go to the conference finals. Denver's a 5.5 home favorite, and I did take Portland to win this series in 6 games. I just think that the altitude and it being a matinee game really is going to really give the Nuggets an advantage here. So give me Denver to move on to the Western Conference Finals. Nikola Jokic will be the best player on the court. Jamal Murray will continue his ascendance. I think Barton plays. Gary Harris will play well. I think Dame Lillard keeps the Blazers in this game, and as well as C.J. McCollum. So giving the Nuggets to win in advance. 3:30 ABC Game 7 Rockets Warriors. Mike Breen, Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson on the call. This is going to be a great game between these two teams. No doubt about it. Obviously no Kevin Durant. But let's just project a little bit. Since Houston's a 7-point home favorite and it normally swings, so, and then if it was at Oracle, it'd be, let's say, 1-point Houston favorite. So Houston being a road favorite in Game 7 would be weird, but I think it should be a pick'em without Kevin Durant there. And guess what? I think the Rockets are going to steal this series and advance to the Western Conference Finals. And for the first time in 5 years, the Warriors won't be playing in the Western Conference Finals, and they have to, unfortunately, pay a steep price of not having their best player there. So give me the Rockets 105-102 in a close game in Oracle Arena on Sunday afternoon, which would be the Oracle home finale too. And then 7 o'clock TNT, Game 7, 76ers Raptors. Toronto's a 6-point favorite. Ian Eagle and Greg Anthony have called the majority of the series, but I think that Kevin Harlan and Reggie Miller will get this game because it's a Game 7. And then they'll have Marv do the conference finals. So let's just assume it's going to be Harlan and Miller, although I wouldn't rule out Ian Eagle. And heck, I wouldn't rule out Marv, but I think it'll be Harlan and Miller on the call. Kevin Harlan's been great in big games, by the way, throughout his wonderful career as a broadcaster. Toronto's a 6-point home favorite in Game 7. They've been so dominant at home, with the exception of Game 2, when Philly stole it. They really have the knack, in my opinion, especially in their home building. I just think that last night, Ben Simmons just had one of the best games of his life. Mike's got it a few random threes, and the Raptors couldn't dig themselves out of a major hole last night on the road. But I'm still confident that they're going to go out and perform well at home. I think they win. I think they covered. Let's say 120-110. It'll be close throughout, and Kawhi Leonard will hit big shots late within the last 5 minutes of the game to give them a 10-point win over the Philadelphia 76ers. And the Sixers are going to be answering many questions in the offseason, which we'll talk about on a podcast next week. I'll have somebody on and talk about the NBA Conference Finals and what's next for the teams that were eliminated, like I did the other day with hockey. And speaking of hockey, we're going to go to hockey right now, as there was one game last night, and that was Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Bruins and the Hurricanes. And the Bruins came out on top by a score of 5-2 to take a 1-0 series lead. This was a pretty entertaining game. Then Boston put it away real late. The first goal of the game was scored by Stephen Kampfer to put the Bruins up 1-0. Then Sebastian Aho's 5th of the postseason ties it up at 1 apiece on the power play. And then the Panthers take the lead on a goal by Greg McKegg. And then third period, Marcus Johansson's 3rd of the postseason on the power play ties it up at 2 apiece. Then 28 seconds later, Patrice Bergeron, his 6th of the postseason on the power play gives the Bruins a 3-2 lead. Then Charlie Coyle's 6th of the postseason made it 4-2. Then Chris Wagner's 1st of the postseason made it 5-2. So the Bruins just put it away late, and now they have a 1-0 series lead. No games tonight, so we'll look ahead to tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, NBC, Blues Sharks, Game 1, Western Conference Finals. It's awesome that the Western Conference is finally getting some primetime love in the postseason. And that's because you had big market teams from the Eastern Conference like the Bruins and the Capitals in the first round, in the second round as well. So that was that. And now the Western Conference finally gets its time to shine. On the call of this will be Kenny Albert, Joe Micheletti, and Pierre Maguire. It's going to be a good game, a good series. I took the Blues in 7, but guess what? I think the Sharks win Game 1. I just think that they're poised to come out and play well in the Shark Tank. And I think the Blues will be a little intimidated playing in that building at first. And I think Martin Jones outplays Jordan Binghamton, at least for this game. I think Sharks win 3-2, whether that's overtime or regulation. And on Mother's Day Sunday, 3 o'clock, NBC, Hurricanes Bruins, Game 2, Doc Emrick, Eddie Olczyk, Brian Boucher on the call. It'll be a good game. I think that both of these teams are going to play well. I think that Carolina will have a bit of chip on its shoulder. This is the first time it's had adversity, in my opinion, since the first round. And guess what? I think we're going to have a little upset special. I think Carolina picks them off here in Game 2 to tie up this Eastern Conference Finals at 1 apiece. So give me Sebastian Aho and company to go into Boston and get a 4-3 win. I'm going to say it's an overtime game as the magic of the Hurricanes continues. So now we'll move on to baseball, where there was some interesting results yesterday, and then we'll look ahead to today's games. Angels over the Tigers 13-0. Angels are 17-20. Detroit 16-18. Felix Pena gets the win. He's 2-1. Rob Carpenter the loss 0-1. Story of this game is that Albert Pujols with his solo home run got his 2000th RBI. That was in the top of the third inning. And the Angels in this game actually went with an opener. And then Felix Pena came in 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts, 0 3.21. Ryan Carpenter, 5 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, a walk, 2 strikeouts, 0 an ugly 10.8. Indians over the White Sox, 5-0. The game got called off after 5 due to rain. Cleveland's 20-16. Chicago 16-20. Carlos Carrasco to win 3-3. Manny Banuelos lost 2-2. Carlos Carrasco 5 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 4.91. Manny Banuelos 4 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 6.67. Cubs over the Marlins 4-1. The Cubs have just been playing great baseball. They're 22-13. Miami's 10-27. Mike Montgomery gets the win. He's 1-0. Trevor Richards the loss 0-5. Yu Darvish started for the Cubs. 4 innings, a hit, and earned runs, 6 walks, and 7 strikeouts. ERA 5.4. Montgomery in relief. 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. ERA 5.87. Trevor Richards 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. ERA 4.46. Rockies over the Giants 12-11. This was a wild game as the Giants came back numerous times to tie it, but ultimately they couldn't get it done. Colorado 17-20. San Francisco 16-21. Brian Shaw the win. He's 2-0. Tyler Beede the loss 0-1. Wade Davis gets his 6th save of the season. Kyle Freeland 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. ERA 5.84. Derek Holland 2 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. ERA 6.75. Reds over the Athletics 3-0. Cincinnati 16-22. Oakland 17-22. Tanner Roark the win 3-1. Chris Bassett lost 1-1. Rafael Iglesias gets his 7th save of the season. Tanner Roark was great. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. ERA 3.27. Chris Bassett 7 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and 9 strikeouts. ERA 2.55. Yankees over the Mariners 3-1. Yankees go to 22-15. Seattle 20-20. J-Happ the win 2-3. Mike Leake the loss 2-4. Aroldis Chapman gets his 8th save of the season. J-Happ 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. ERA 4.36. Mike Leake 7 innings, 6 hits, and a run, no walks, 2 strikeouts. ERA 4.37. Cardinals over the Pirates 17-4. St. Louis is 22-16. Pittsburgh 17-17. Michael Wacha gets the win. He's 3-0. Joe Musgrove lost 1-4. Michael Wacha 5 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 2 strikeouts, ERA 5.35. Joe Musgrove 3 innings, 6 hits, 8 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and 5 walks, ERA 4.2. So that was his worst start of the year. Astros over the Rangers 4-2. Houston's 23-15. Texas 17-18. Wade Miley the win 3-2. Mike Minor the loss 3-3. Roberto Osuna gets his 9th save of the season. Wade Miley 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA 3.18. Mike Minor 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 2.68. Diamondbacks over the Braves 3-2 in 10 innings on a walk-off single by Ketel Marte. Arizona's 22-16. Atlanta's 18-20. John DePlanter gets his first big league win. AJ Minter drops to 0-4. Luke Weaver 7 innings, 3 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 2.98. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, Mike Soroka 6 innings, 4 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, ERA 1.21. Nationals over the Dodgers 6-0. Good win for Washington. They are 15-22. Dodgers 25-15. Patrick Corbin gets the win. He's 3-1. Rich Hill the loss 0-1. Corbin was great. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 3.2. Rich Hill 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 4.2. Today's games underway right now is the Brewers and the Cubs. So, big matchup in the AL Central there. The AL East has a big one tonight. And this weekend, Yankees against the Rays. Domingo Germán against Tyler Glasnow. Germán 6-1 with a 2.35 ERA. Glasnow 6-0 with a 1.47. Angels Orioles. Trevor Cahill and Dan Straley. Cahill 1-3 with a 6.95. Straley 1-2 with a 7.43. White Sox Blue Jays. Dylan Covey and Clay Buchholz. Covey 0-1 with the 4.5. Buchholz 0-2 with the 6.57. Marlins Mets. Pablo Lopez and Zach Wheeler. Lopez 2-4 with the 4.03. Wheeler 2-2 with the 4.64. Mariners Red Sox. Eric Swanson and Eduardo Rodriguez. Swanson 1-3 with the 4.94. Rodriguez 3-2 with the 5.4. 8 o'clock Rangers Astros. Lance Lynn and Justin Verlander. Lynn 4-2 with the 5.75. Verlander 5-1 with the 2.86. Tigers Twins. Tyson Ross and Jake Odorizzi. Ross 1-4 with the 5.34. Odorizzi 4-2 with the 2.78. Phillies Royals at 8:15. Jake Arrieta and Homer Bailey. Arrieta 4-2 with the 3.4. Bailey 3-3 with the 5.25. Pirates Cardinals. Trevor Williams against Adam Wainwright. Williams 1-1 with the 3.74. Wainwright 3-3 with the 4.71. 8:40 Padres Rockies. Eric Lauer and Germán Marquez. Lauer 2-3 with the 4.3. Marquez 3-2 with the 3.46. 9:30 Indians Athletics. Cody Anderson and Frankie Montas. Anderson 0-1 with an ugly 11.12. Montas 4-2 with the 2.75. Braves Diamondbacks. Julio Teheran and Zach Greinke. Teheran 2-4 with the 4.63. Greinke 5-1 with the 3.42. 10 o'clock Nationals Dodgers. Anibal Sanchez and Kenta Maeda. Sanchez 0-5 with the 5.15. Maeda 3-2 with the 4.66. 10:15 Reds Giants. Luis Castillo and Derek Rodriguez. Castillo 3-1 with the 1.97. Rodriguez 3-4 with the 5.75. Now I'm going to do my second NHL mock draft. I did one a few weeks ago after the lottery. And now I'm going to do them week by week up until the draft. So, without further ado, here we go. Number 1, New Jersey Devils, Jack Hughes, center, U.S. National Development Team. Hughes is somebody that people have talked about since last year in terms of young, up-and-coming impact draft prospects. He's going to come in and have an immediate impact on a team that needs young assets to go with Taylor Hall and former number 1 overall pick, Nico Hischier. 2, New York Rangers, Capo Caco, right wing, Liha TPS. The Rangers have to be thrilled for making this big of a jump into the lottery. Kakko is somebody that will jumpstart this rebuild as he's broke a ton of scoring records in Liga. He will also make an immediate impact and would be yet another prospect to go to a suddenly loaded prospect group featuring Vitaly Kravtsov and K'Andre Miller. 3. Chicago Blackhawks. Alex Turcotte, center, U.S. National Development Team. Turcotte is somebody that is a very dynamic two-way center that stock is rising. He's playing in the Under-18 World Championship and is thriving in the tournament, which is making people think he could be the third guy off the board on draft night. 4. Colorado Avalanche from the Ottawa Senators. Dylan Cozens, center, Lethbridge, WHL. Cozens is somebody I'm very high on and I feel has a ton of potential. He's very dynamic and would give the Avalanche a great number 2 center behind Nathan MacKinnon down the road. 5. Los Angeles Kings. Bowen Byram, defenseman, Vancouver, WHL. The Kings have options with this pick as they can trade the pick to move down, take a forward, or go defense like I have them here. Byram is the best defenseman in the draft, and the Kings need more defensemen as Drew Doughty is aging. 6. Detroit Red Wings. Kirby Dach, center, Saskatoon, WHL. The Red Wings go with the big center here in Dach. He has a nice combination of speed and skill and maybe could be a number 2 center behind Dylan Larkin if he were to land here. 7. Buffalo Sabres. Peyton Curbs, left wing, Kootenay, WHL. Curbs is somebody that is a dynamic offensive force like some of the other wingers in the top of the draft. He's fast and has a good hockey IQ, which the Sabres would like. 8. Edmonton Oilers. Cole Caulfield, center wing, U.S. National Development Team. The Oilers are under immense pressure at the draft as much as anyone. Caulfield is someone whose draft stock is rising due to his versatility, and he provides that and could pan out into a top 6 guy. 9. Anaheim Ducks. Vasily Podkolzin, right wing, St. Petersburg, KHL. Podkolzin is somebody that was outstanding in the World Junior, but wasn't putting up stats offensively in Russia. I can see Podkolzin slipping further than this due to contract concerns with the KHL, but at the same time, due to his upside, I could see him picking in the top 5. 10. Vancouver Canucks. Victor Sodstrom, defenseman, Brinas, super elite. The Canucks go defense for the second straight year as they take Sodstrom to go with Quinn Hughes. He's somebody that is a smart player that could be great offensively and reliable defensively. 11. Philadelphia Flyers. Matthew Boldy, right wing, U.S. National Development Team. Boldy is yet another U.S. NDT player taken in the lottery. He has a ton of size and scores the puck from both sides of the wing and is somebody that the Flyers would take a chance on. 12. Minnesota Wild. Trevor Zergas, center, wing, U.S. National Development Team. Zergas is somebody that is a versatile player and has smart vision. He's a good two-way player too and would be somebody that the Wild would move around their lineup because of his versatility. 13. Florida Panthers. Cam York, defenseman, U.S. National Development Team. The U.S. NDT lottery dominance continues as the Panthers take York. He's somebody that could be a top 4 D-man on someone's roster, and he could solidify being a surefire lottery pick with a good tournament coming up. 14. Arizona Coyotes. Raphael Lavoie, center wing, Halifax, OHL. Lavoie is somebody whose draft stock is rising, and that could be an immediate contributor for the Coyotes. He is a physical player, but also someone with speed and can wire a heavy shot. 15. Montreal Canadiens. Philip Brodberg, defenseman, AIK, Sweden. The Habs could go in a number of directions with this pick. Brodberg is somebody that is a good offensive defenseman that has good vision as well as controls the game and well in all zones. 16. Colorado Avalanche. Arthur Kaliev, left wing, Hamilton, OHL. Kaliev is somebody that can flat out score. Some people have concerns with his skating ability in his two-way game, or else he would have been in the conversation for a top 10 or even a top 5 pick. 17. Vegas Golden Knights. Thomas Harley, defenseman, Mississauga, OHL. Harley is somebody that is an excellent two-way defenseman and is probably a steal at this pick. He is somebody that the Knights would pair with Shea Theodore down the road. 18. Dallas Stars. Ryan Suzuki, center. Barry, OHL. The younger brother of former Knights first-rounder Kurt, Ryan may end up being the better prospect. He's a great skater and has good vision for the game as well as great playmaking skills. 19. Ottawa Senators from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Alex Newhook, center. Victoria, BCHL. Newhook is such a fast riser right now that it wouldn't surprise me if he went in the back end of the lottery. He is somebody that is a big offensive force and has blazing speed. 20. New York Rangers from the Winnipeg Jets. Moritz Seider, defenseman, Alder, SCL. The Rangers go defense here at their second first-rounder to continue building their defensive depth. Seider is somebody that is a great two-way defenseman and is a force to be reckoned with. 21. Pittsburgh Penguins. Matthew Robertson, defenseman, Edmonton, OHL. Robertson is somebody that provided very good two-way play this past season. He seems like someone that the Penguins would take a flyer on. 22. Los Angeles Kings from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Connor McMichael, center, London, OHL. McMichael is somebody that is very crafty and the type of player that the Kings would add to their rebuild. He's also great at finishing, and he stood out among a London Knights team that's loaded with scorers. 23. New York Islanders. Phil Tomasino, center, wing, Niagara, OHL. Tomasino is somebody that is versatile and has a knack of making plays with a ton of speed. That's something that the Islanders are looking for in players, especially Lou Lamoriello. 24. Nashville Predators. Brett Leeson, center, wing, Prince Albert, WHL. Leeson is somebody rare in the sense that he was undrafted last season and the season before, and now projected to be a late first or early second round pick, and that says a lot on how much he has improved as a player. He can flat out score and has good size and plays a power game. 25. Washington Capitals. Jacob Pelletier, center, wing, Moncoton, QMJHL. The Capitals take a versatile forward here with their first rounder. Pelletier is somebody that has great tenacity and skill as well as generating chances off the forecheck. 26. Calgary Flames. Spencer Knight, goalie, U.S. National Development Team. There hasn't been a goalie with the fire and intensity like Knight drafted this high in a long time. Mike Smith is not the long-term answer in goal for the Flames, and taking a chance on Knight would be wise. 27. Tampa Bay Lightning. V.A. Hinoa, defenseman, Luco, S.M. Leja. Hinoa is somebody that is very good at attacking and making odd-man situations happen. His moves make people remind him of Rasmus Dahlin. 28. Anaheim Ducks from the Buffalo Sabres via St. Louis Blues. Lassie Thompson, defenseman, Kelowna, WHL. The Ducks go defense with their second first-rounder with Thompson. He is somebody that has the upside of being a top four pairing and is a good skater, but needs help on his defensive game. 29. Carolina Hurricanes. Samuel Poulin, left wing, Sherbrooke, Quebec Men's Junior Hockey League. Poulin is somebody that could go higher than this or fall out into the second round. His size combined with average puck handling, shooting, and playmaking skills make him an attractive power forward NHL prospect. 30. Buffalo Sabres from the San Jose Sharks. Bobby Brink, right wing, Sioux Falls, U.S. Hockey League. The Sabres take the fast-rising winger here at their second first-rounder. Brink isn't the fastest skater, but has good footwork and agility, allowing him to weave in and out of traffic and around defenders. 31. Boston Bruins. Antoni Honka, defenseman, JYP, SM Legia. The Bruins go defense with their first rounder and settle on Honka. He is somebody that is an agile puck rusher and distributor who can elude pressure in a variety of ways. That's it for my mock draft, and now I'm going to do my best bet of the day, brought to you by DraftKings. I lost yesterday because I got both NBA games wrong, so that's all you need to know. And without further ado, here we go. I'm going to go with the Rockets on the money line. I'm also going to go to baseball and take the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Going to take the Mets. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Rays over the Yankees. I'm going to take the Red Sox over the Mariners, the Twins over the Tigers, the Astros over the Rangers. And I'm going to go with the Dodgers over the Nationals. So that's 8 teams. Wagering $1, plus 22.01 odds, payout $23 and a penny. That's it for the podcast today. I'll be back on Monday recapping the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs, as well as baseball. Do my weekly power rankings for baseball. And I'm going to have a podcast with Anthony Donahue, who has his own podcast called 33rd and 7th, which is a Knicks-related podcast. We're going to talk all things New York Knicks basketball leading up to the draft lottery on Tuesday night. Hope you guys have a great day, everybody.